Damn. All right. We'll call the meeting of August 6th to order for the Carroll County Commissioners. For the general public, I'd like to make a statement to start off with. Last week, I was asked regarding advancement or loans to employees. And I had to think about it a little bit. My answer is still yes. We have given advances, if you want to call it advances. We have never given loans. There's no payback by any employee. The advance is based on accrued time at work. And in most cases, it's money that they would have received as sick leave or maybe even vacation time. So I just wanted to clarify that. It's only given to those people who have a hardship, and all I can remember is it's less than 5 people that had ever received it. There were several people that requested it that after reviewing their application or the request found that it was not appropriate. It was not a hardship, and therefore they were declined any what we call advancements.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to congratulate you for what I thought was a very honest answer when the question was put to you, either yes or no. Some people may consider buying back accrued time as an advance. I don't. I think you answered it honestly, and I appreciate that. And the 3 that I know about were done. One was in 2011, and one was in 2012. And I frankly, had I been on the board and what I know of the cases, I too would have voted to buy back the money. We have good employees here. We have employees that get into binds every once in a while and need a loan. We didn't give them a loan and say, okay, you've got to pay us back. They bought back their own time that they had accrued.
Right.
And that's all I got to say with it, and let's move on.
Okay. Okay, the next item on the agenda is public input. Anybody have public input? Okay, if not, let's look at the minutes of last week.
Okay. I only have two comments, Dave, if I might. One is an addition. Over the past couple of years, we've made a point of putting down on the in the minutes the attendance record of the board members. Either they're late or on time. Michelle used to put so-and-so joins the meeting at such and such. I think we ought to continue that, and I would ask Melissa to make that correction that Commissioner Kenney joined the meeting. I don't know, it was later than usual last week.
8:37.
And,
8:37.
Okay, whatever time it was. And I would ask you if you might, due to my old age, to make the font a little bit bigger so that it's easier to read. This is different.
You can't see that?
I can see it, but it's not easy. The other, Michelle's were bigger. If you can do that, appreciate it. Other than that, the minutes were fine.
Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes.
If I could, please.
Excuse me?
If I could, just a couple of things before you accept that motion.
I'll second it.
There's a couple of things missing from the end of the minutes. Because I was excused from the meeting.
Oh, right.
So I did watch the film, so I wanted to insert at the end, if it's okay, a paragraph about that you came back in the meeting and you voted to approve the contract with Ms. Varney, between the county and Ms. Varney, on the tree cutting, I believe.
Oh, Ms. Fine, I was thinking, yes.
At the very last page, I put, insert any discussion that ensued upon your return to public, because I wasn't here.
Yep.
So I need to put a paragraph in there. And also, I wanted to suggest or request that either that clock be moved behind you or an additional clock be put there. So when reviewing or when the public's watching, we can see what time things are happening. Because I don't have the time that you finally adjourned. Because, I mean, I can watch the tape, but he began recording it again when you came back, so I really had no awareness of what time it was.
Okay.
But if there was a clock visible, then people would know what time things are happening.
Did you take any notes when we did
last
adjourn?
week? Yeah, I just want to say also, every clock unit in a building has a different time. Babson, adjourned at 12 p.m.
12?
Okay.
Yep.
The Ms. Varney thing,
Mhm.
we didn't approve the contract.
Oh.
She signed it. We took a look at it. I wanted to hold out because it was different than what I was told, and when I talked to Wendy, that's one thing that we have to do today is to sign that contract.
Okay.
It was fine.
Oh, okay.
They made some final adjustments in it, and it was, I was on change number 10, and they approved change number 11, so whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, we will approve it, and the work is all done.
Do you have a
Okay.
time when we went into non-public?
Into non-public? Yeah. Let's see. I actually have non-public minutes, so I can see it up. No, that should be on tape.
Don't have the time?
Yeah,
Okay.
I should have noted the time
If we
on
going,
that part, but.
if we're going into non-public, that is update, we made the motion to go into. I have when we go out of non-public, I
Okay.
have that.
So if I
And when
could
we
just make-
adjourn.
If I could just make those couple of corrections, if you could approve them as corrected,
Mhm.
those couple of things, so. I think that
Okay.
would make them complete.
I'll change my motion to approve the minutes of July 30th as corrected.
Again, I'd second it. Any further discussion on the minutes?
I read the minutes, it seems accurate.
Okay. All those in support of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. And so voted. Okay, when Bob comes in, we have bids we need to approve. Our new system for time off notification apparently is working well. We have had 2 requests of people that we are directly responsible for.
Are you sure it isn't just one, David?
Excuse me?
You sure it isn't just one?
I got 2 requests. You can sign that one if you want to. For personal day. And this one is for, it's a symposium regarding PREA, P-R-E-A, This is the one that's being sponsored by Primex, be held in Concord. All police departments that have anything to do with inmates need to go to this. And so Jason Henry is requesting that he give permission to go.
You know what, David, I would suggest that we get a hold of Representative Umberger, because this is really gonna hit us in the budget if these regulations go through.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've listened to it in the commissioners' monthly meetings down there statewide. The concern seems to be the more, I guess it's a federal law, so it'll be federal regulations, inspections,
Yep.
et cetera. And I would think that we would write to Representative Umberger and ask her to have either Representative Schmidt, or some other members of the delegation go to this meeting and learn about it, because the first thing they're gonna tell us is when they get to the budget, oh, we don't need to do that. Well, they're gonna need to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, if there's no objection, I would sign this, approve this,
Oh,
that he go to
absolutely.
the PRIA.
Absolutely.
And how many people are going?
He's going, that's all is
That's it?
requested so far.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know how you people feel, but this one, the very first one, opens up a overall approximate cost is zero. Yes, it's zero because it doesn't cost anything to go or to get in. He'll take a jail car, but I think we ought to have another blank here for county costs. Is it 56 cents a mile down and back? There is a cost if we want to keep accurate costs of what we're doing around here. That's one way to do it. Yes, there's no cost to go, there's no cost to get in. And if he doesn't put in mileage, there's no cost. But I suspect he's going to take a company car. And I guess
So what would you like to do? You want to add a,
just an add a line that says something to the county costs. Total county costs, which would be, in this case, just a mileage. Somebody's gonna pay that car.
he didn't check off whether he's personal
I
vehicle,
noticed that.
county vehicle.
You didn't check off anything,
He
maybe?
needs to do that. Okay. All right, Bob, you're first on the agenda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I dropped off copies of the contracts. You have those?
Let's talk about the wood pellets first.
Okay. We received two bids, opened up the bids last week for the wood pellets. Lime Green Heat from Lyme, New Hampshire gave us a price of $239 a ton delivered. And Sandry Energy, Greenfield, Mass. gave us a price of $242.82 a ton delivered. They're close in price. Lime Green Heat, everything's pretty much apples for apples. They have the same transport capability. The terms of the contract are the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same pellets. They draw from the same source.
So they are just providing transportation?
Transportation, yeah. And selling it, well, and we buy the pellets through them.
Yeah.
Over 400 tons, it's a difference of $1,528 between the two. Sandry Energy has been our pellet supplier for the last 3 seasons, and they're $1,500 over in their quote. Lime Green Heat is a New Hampshire-based transporter, $1,500 under. I can recommend 2 different ways. I can recommend Lime Green Heat for their better price and being a New Hampshire contractor, but also Sandry being so close in price that we've done business with them for a few years. There's really nothing much that separates the 2 other than those, and I'd like to leave that decision to you.
And the difference is $1,500, you said?
Over 400 tons, yeah. And actually, we usually burn. I checked the history, and we're burning about 300 tons on average. So the amount that we would spend would probably be somewhere about $1,000 more if we went with Sandry. But I don't have any problem with Sandry's service that they've given us so far.
How long have they been in business? Lime Green Heat, have they been in business?
Lime Green Heat has been in business for a while, and they just started getting into bulk delivery over the last year or 2.
Do they own their own trucks?
Yes.
What are the stipulations if we were to go with Lime Green and it didn't work out? What would it take to get out of the contract?
The fact that they told us that it's an up-to price, they're not. We're just committing to buying a certain amount of pellets. If we don't buy them, we don't buy them. There's no penalty.
We're not signing a contract.
We're signing a contract. We're agreeing on a price. Is essentially what we're doing. If we don't buy them, things don't work out. By the wording of the contract, I don't think we're committed to buy anything more. There's no over or under penalty.
I see that on this one. That's both. When I looked at that contract, there was a difference. If they're coming from the same source, why is there such a difference in the moisture content, the size, and something else? There was a third one on Lime Greens. Are they going to go somewhere? Are we going to decide to buy from them, and they're going to be from the pellet place here in New Hampshire, or are they going to go get the first load there, and the next 15 will come from someplace else?
They told me that they source their pellets in Jaffrey, and it would make sense for them to use the nearest source.
Then why aren't their specifications the same as the?
I think they use 2 different testing agencies. Sandry used one testing agency, Lime Green used another testing agency, and the test reports fall within our requirements, what we put out in the RFP.
Wouldn't it make more sense, Bob, that the testing would be done by the Jaffrey company?
You would think, but nobody has any control of the testing agencies or who they choose to use as a testing agency. Unlike heating oil or propane, I think pellets can be inconsistent from batch to batch. They can meet a certain standard, fall under a certain requirement, or above a certain requirement, as the case may be. But it's wood. I don't think you can make it perfectly consistent from batch to batch.
Well, what disturbed me was the moisture content. As I remember, the Jaffrey, the Sandry one was 2% moisture, and Lime Green was 8, I believe.
Between 2 and 3, and one of them was 8.
It was much higher.
I'm just looking to see if I had a copy of that.
No, I have it right here.
You got it?
It's less than 8%. Doesn't say. It's less than 8%.
It says 8 or less.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's
Sandry says 2 or less, or 1 or less, 2 or less.
Yeah, it's insignificant as far as I'm concerned. That doesn't bother me.
You've had no problems with Sandry.
I've had no problems with Sandry.
Was there a penalty if we didn't take a full truckload
Yes.
by both of them?
And I wouldn't call it a penalty. It's a shipping cost. With a full load, the shipping cost is built into the price
Okay.
and is split up over 30 tons. But when we get under 27 tons, I think was the magic number.
26, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
Somewhere in
think
one of those
something
two.
close enough. They separate the shipping charge from the pellet price. So they give us a fixed shipping cost, and then we buy the pellets.
Okay.
That's
How
all.
many
But,
times a year the truck is delivering here, the pallets?
Just roughly.
I have it right here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We had 11 trips
11
11
trips?
trip? Wow.
this last season.
And they're coming like every 2 weeks or?
Yeah, in the cold weather, they're here every
2 weeks.
about every 2 weeks. Yeah, and it's, of course, the warmer it is, the deliveries get spread out.
Mm-hmm.
We used 316 tons last year, 283 tons the year before.
Bob, as I recall on the Sandry contract, if it's less than 26 or 27 tons, they give us a shipping cost.
Mm-hmm.
But my recollection is they don't drop the price of the pellets too.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
the price is built into it over 26, then if they're gonna charge us shipping under, you'd think that the price of the pellets would come down.
It does.
It does?
It does. Yes.
Okay.
And I ordered a short shipment once. It was right before the holidays. I didn't want to get. I wanted to make sure I had that silo topped off.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered a 25-ton load. But the rest of the time I've been able to get full loads or near full loads.
And you're sure that on the undersized shipment that they reduce the cost of the pellet?
Yes.
Compared to the last contract, this is higher. These two bids are higher.
Yes, because the price of pellets has come up.
Okay. Okay, what's the privilege of the board here? We've got Lime Green Heat, that's in New Hampshire.
And where from New Hampshire again?
Lime.
Lime. And they are less per ton than Sandry. And then Sandry is the one that we've had in the past. Basically, they're all the same, except for price and location. Do I hear a motion to accept one or the other?
I'll make a motion, we accept the Sandry contract. And if somebody would second it for discussion?
I'll second it for discussion.
I guess I believe in the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. We've had 3 years here. They've delivered on time. I don't know whether we've had any emergencies that they've bailed us out on, but they certainly haven't let us down. And it isn't going to be a difference of $1,528 because we only got 300 tons. And that's the difference on 400 tons, so it's going to be less than that. Yes, it's more than the other one, but I'd like, considering what we have over there, I'd like the security of knowing we've got somebody that's going to deliver.
Any further comments?
We had no issues at all with Sandry, right?
None.
And it's like automatic delivery, what are you doing?
I call.
Oh, you call and then they come.
Yeah.
And if you call, they come in like 48 hours?
They're like a 4 to 5 day lead time
Oh, okay.
because they're pretty busy.
Mm-hmm.
They sell a lot of pellets.
Any further comment? If not, all those in support of the motion to contract with Sandry Energy out of Greenfield, Massachusetts at $242.82 per ton delivered. All those in support of the motion say?
Can I ask one more question?
Okay.
When we write this contract, Bob, do we do it from September till the end of August, or we do it January 1, December 31st?
It's now. When you date the contract, it'll start when you date
It'll be a
it.
year from now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, thank you, David.
All those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Okay, thank you.
Sandre wins the bid. Okay, we have elevator maintenance contract.
Bob, I called Pine State this morning, and they have no problem adding the verbiage if they're the ones that get the contract.
For,
Subject to the funding by the delegation.
good, I'd asked him that via email, and I hadn't got a response yet, so, but that's good. So I'll have them type up a contract at your pleasure.
Who do we presently have at the nursing home?
Okay, we received 3 bids.
Yep.
Otis Elevator, which is our incumbent, Stanley Elevator, who currently services this building,
Yep.
and Pine State Elevator. Otis Elevator submitted a 2-year contract proposal for $495 a month. That's $59.40 the first year. And what they don't include is a $500 charge for annual smoke detector witnessing. They have to let my fire alarm company into the elevator pit. Nobody can go in there unless you're a licensed elevator technician. So they charge us $500 for that, and over the 2-year contract, that's a total cost of $13,117.60. They service us quarterly. Stanley Elevator submitted a 5-year.
Bob,
Yes.
excuse me. Did you ask for a 2-year contract, or did you ask for a 5-year contract?
Well,
Or did the other two come back and offer 5 years?
all I put in the bid proposal was multiple-year contracts will be entertained.
Okay, thank you.
Our last contract was 2 years, so Otis Elevator just repeated their last contract. Stanley Elevator submitted a 5-year contract proposal, servicing quarterly, $843.75 a quarter. Total $843.75
Quarter.
a quarter, for a total of $33.75 annually. There's a 2016, what they call a full load test that's required by the state of New Hampshire. Stanley Elevator was going to charge $2,750 for that test, and over the term of their contract, we're looking at $19,625.
Bob, why didn't Otis put that full load test into their bid? Are they gonna come back if we give it to them, and they're gonna say, oh, by the way, you got a $2,700 fee for a load test?
Why don't I have that answer in there?
Well, Pine State, jumping ahead, Pine State is only $900.
Yeah.
Why is such a difference?
I don't have that answer at the moment, but Otis is a big company, stockholder company. Pine State Elevator is a family-owned business. They have 30 employees. They service Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. It's just the way they do business. I can't explain their business practices, but it's a family-owned company. Perhaps they have less overhead. But it's a significant difference.
The difference between Pine State and Otis is $20,000 over a 5-year period.
Bob, you've built the, when you were on Pine State, you showed 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. You've built their contract, states a 5% increase annually.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we that we award the elevator maintenance contract to Pine State Elevator.
Second. Any further discussion?
Yes, I'd like to add to
Go
the
ahead.
motion, if I might. I'll make a motion that we award the elevator maintenance bid to Pine State Elevator, and that we include in their contract the wording, "This contract funding is approved annually and becomes null and void if not funded by the Carroll County Delegation."
All right, I'll second that.
Take a look at that, Melissa. They have said, I talked to Angus, somebody, and he said that's not a problem. And I ought to write down the date I talked to him.
Any further discussion on the motion?
So it is funded annually? If the, you say it is approved annually if it is not funded by the delegation, correct?
Yes.
Is that what you added?
It's a 5-year
So I've
contract.
added what's on the bottom of the sheet you're looking at, Commissioner.
It's a 5-year contract, but if the
Oh,
delegation
okay.
doesn't approve it,
So we're
then
going
it's
with
null and
the,
void.
okay, so we're going with the 5-year contract.
Mhm.
And they get paid annually, correct?
Yeah.
Did she say you get paid
Anything-
annually?
Yes, we,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any
They get cut a
further,
check.
We give them one payment at the beginning of the contract?
Yes.
Okay.
any further discussion? All those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. I assume it's unanimous that Pine Street Elevator is awarded the contract. You take care of both of those?
I will do that.
Do we have to sign anything?
Yeah, I'll have them type up a formal contract, and I'll, can I, do I have to have you sign that at
No.
here, or can I just bring
No,
it
it's
down to
been
the
approved,
office?
so just bring it in.
Okay. All right, well, that's all.
Can I ask a question? Do you have a clean copy of both of those documents I can include? in
Yeah,
the-
I
I
do.
got copies right here.
Are they clean?
Are they clean?
Or they have a star next to who
I
you
put a
awarded
star
it?
next to the one.
Okay, these
Okay?
are fine, Bob. These will work.
I have a clean one right here,
Well, then you have your own.
and
Thank you.
Okay. You got anything else?
no, that's it, thank you.
Nursing home looks great. You're doing a good job supervising your people.
Thank you.
Haven't heard any complaints by anybody.
That's a good thing.
Thank you for your that one meal a month where you and your assistants help feed the residents there. It's always good to see you there, and some of your maintenance people there as well.
Well, thank you. No, we enjoy doing that. It's ultimately our jobs are to care for those people, so whatever it takes to get the job done is what we do. So,
Okay.
feed them breakfast one morning a month. It's a good
Go
thing.
ahead.
I've got a couple of things. First one is, Bob, what can we do about the acoustics in that room? There's no point in even
Terrible.
holding a meeting there. It's horrible. Can't we suspend wire or cable across 8 feet off the floor and put material down in there that'll dampen it, or is there air conditioning up above that would screw it up? Or
It's on the-
just useless. You can't hold a meeting there.
It's on the
Terrible.
list. It's on the list of things to do, and it's pretty high on the list. When we're finished with the work that we're doing in the multi-purpose room, the cabinetry, that little kitchenette that we're building, of course you remember that money is money that was returned to us from the carpet company for the carpet installation. Okay, whatever is left over from that, I believe the next thing that's on the list is to do some acoustic tile work in that room.
Well, my suggestion would be that we put it, somehow we get it in the budget next year and stop messing around with money returned for carpets and get it fixed, because what's the point of having it if you can't use it? I mean, it's not bad, it's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
It is horrible.
And I think the architects ought to be called in someday when we're having a meeting and let them, really, and let them sit there and listen to what we have to put up with. And then, of course, we had the music going on the other side of the thing the other day. That we can take care of that.
Yeah.
But just the plain acoustics in the thing is just miserable.
Is there some way we could put something on the wall to absorb the,
Well, the acoustic tiles that we're looking at are going to go on the wall.
okay.
Why can't we just suspend I don't know, like an Arabian tent or something?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Just have it dangled down there so that it's killed, the
It would
sound
be
is
nice, but
killed.
that blocks the sprinkler system, and we can't
Oh.
have anything block the sprinkler system. So,
Okay.
it's,
Yeah.
all I can tell you is it's high on the list of things to do. We're trying to do it without putting it into the budget. If it turns out that we have to, maybe we'll come forward with that in the budget, but we're trying to do it without.
I'd put it in the budget because the three of us are the only three that can't hear in there. I mean, everybody that's in there can't hear. Everybody's complaining about it.
Where the money
They-
comes from is between you and Howie.
Well, okay. The other thing is, have we had any interest shown, anybody called you yet on the probation quote?
Negative.
Okay, well, now what are the laws? Once we put it out for bid and we don't get an answer, can we go out and ask people to come in and bid on it?
I'm under the impression that once it's been put out to bid, and if we don't get any bids, then at that point we can solicit. If I'm wrong, I'd love to be corrected.
It's not a big deal.
It's
I don't
not. It's
believe.
just- no.
It's an
Not a
easy
big
job.
expense.
No, you're building some walls, some electrical work,
Electricals.
Time Warner work, telephone. And that's about it. Door repair,
Will you keep us posted on whether you hear from anybody?
absolutely.
Please. I'm gonna go looking for a couple of people that'll, might bid it.
You got copies of the plans, right?
And just tell them to call Bob and he can,
Yeah.
you gotta talk to him anyway to find out.
Is there telephone locations on the plan?
I don't recall.
Electrical boxes on the
I
plan?
I skimmed it. I didn't study it.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to be electrical box every 8 feet, is it? I think so.
You know, we have a, in my opinion, a very good opportunity here, and that's to put probation in there with a long-term contract. And we're gonna lose it if we don't get off dead center and get moving.
What's the possibility of maintenance using the kitchen facility?
All I need is the word, and I can turn that into a maintenance or storage or whatever.
David, you know somebody that buys used kitchen equipment, right?
Yeah,
Why don't you contact him and have him come down and see Bob and see what we
he's
can
on the
do?
East Conway Road in Conway.
Because that makes sense if we're gonna do it, and nobody's gonna use the kitchen. I asked him yesterday, the office staff, we're gonna put out a RFP to see if anybody around here wants to use a commercial kitchen, and if we don't get any responses, we might as well tear it out.
There's a few nice pieces in there.
What's that?
There's a few nice pieces of equipment in there.
Yeah, yeah. Who's gonna put that out?
I talked to Lynette, and she said, no, Cheryl puts them out, and Cheryl's out today. That was on my list of things
Okay.
to do.
All right.
But we gotta draw one up. I don't know how maybe, do you have a list of the equipment in there, Bob, or whatever?
Yeah,
Could go.
I have something, but it'd be easier for me to start scratch.
Plus there's cold storage.
Would Rob know? I
A
mean, all
freezer.
we need is a list of, in the ad of what's there for the commercial kitchen, so people have some
Yeah,
idea.
Rob's out today, but I can get that to you.
Okay.
That'd be good to do, I think.
Well, I mean,
And then-
that's where bases are covered. If we can't get anybody interested,
Yep.
Dunkin' Donuts, which was Aldrin's idea, that was a fiasco.
You know, I've said before, I'm not greedy. I don't care where I am in the building. Well, I do, but I just need a place that I can
It'd be
call home.
handy
and-
to where your head shop is located.
Exactly, exactly. It'd be nice to finally set up camp somewhere permanently.
Are you gonna be at the delegation meeting on Monday?
I'm going to give my phone number so I can be called.
Okay.
I don't want to sit there all day like I did
Yeah, I know what you mean.
the other day.
I don't know when the subcommittee is going to be given their report, but that passed 3-2, I believe, to do the laundry over. Did you understand what they were trying to get at as to not to do the laundry until everything else is completed? What effect does the laundry have on the roof? I mean, we're going to be venting the dryers to the outside wall rather than up through the ceiling.
Right, and that roof,
That's a plus.
yes, it is. But that roof is part of the core
Yeah.
that they don't want to do any work to until they know what's going to happen with the rest of the building. So, in the meantime, it's still going to leak.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Okay.
Didn't they, their last action was to vote not to do anything more until the delegation meeting and something else on the building? I think that was the last vote they took.
That's a recommendation to the full delegation, right?
Yeah.
Lost my train of thought here. You put out a bid for connecting the pellet furnace to the hot water tank and laundry, and you got a deadline on that when that was due back?
Yeah, I don't have the RFP in front of me. I think I gave everybody to the end of this month.
Okay.
What is necessary to do that? It's done with I would imagine some kind of a heat exchanger.
Yeah, that's the basis of it.
And
Is
then
heat
does it go
exchanger.
into a hot water holding tank after
Yes.
it's been heated?
Yes.
And is there enough flow of hot water for both the nursing home and the laundry? I know when mine comes in my house, it comes in very hot, and I'm just amazed at how cold it goes out of the house. Are we gonna be burning a lot more pellet because
We'll be burning some more.
taking more heat out of the system?
Well, it's complicated, but the way the system is set up is that there's a certain amount of demand, heat demand, that this building requires and the other building requires, the new building and the old building. 100% of the available heat is divided up
Right.
amongst the two buildings. If the new building needs 100% of the 100 of all that heat, it takes the 100% and it sends nothing to the old building. In that case, the propane takes over. But if that load can start being split up, 70% to this building, 30% to the other building, the load gets shifted. It does that all through its own computer calculations. So when that heat is available, it'll be making heat from the pellets.
Okay.
When there's not enough pellet heat available, the propane will take over and finish the job.
So it's gonna send it to the demand center first, and then if it's
Right.
extra, then it'll be.
As long as 100% of the needs of the new nursing home are met,
Right.
whatever's left over gets sent to the old building.
How big are, hot water tank, holding tank are we putting in?
It's
We're not
already
putting
there.
in, they're already there.
It's already
How
there.
big are they?
There are 3
Well,
220-gallon tanks, I think they are.
So that if we're calling for, if we're not using 100% at the nursing home, and now it says, okay, heat the water in the laundry, we have enough holding tanks there. Are they insulated?
Yeah, well, yeah, yes. The insulation quality isn't very good, but they're insulated.
we
Should
replaced
it be improved?
we
We're gonna
replaced
do-
one of those tanks.
Yeah, one of them is not very old.
No,
Not that long before I started.
right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are they wrapped or sprayed with
They're wrapped.
insulation?
They're wrapped with fiberglass. I think it's 2-inch fiberglass.
Okay. Thank you.
Those water heaters were designed to meet the demands of that whole building, so now we have ample hot water for our laundry.
We decided not to do that because it wasn't cost effective.
Do what, the laundry expansion?
No, to do the tie-in between the two.
Oh, yeah, it was $38,000.
About
But that,
that.
excuse me, David, but that was second. It was not in the plans to begin with, not because of the cost. Yeah, we came in, you guys went out for bids later on and came in with a $38,000 to hook
I
it
asked
up.
the engineer about that, and to his recollection, it was not included in the original
Right.
project because the scope of the old nursing home was not completely understood. The future of it wasn't understood.
So am I wrong?
I don't think it still is.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Is there any way of figuring whether it's a cost effective or not? I mean, is this something we should do or something we should not do?
We can do rough math. How much water we use, how much it costs with propane to heat that water. I think I did that once, but I don't remember where those calculations are. But 38, let's just say you can heat an awful lot of hot water with propane for $38,000 for a long time. I'm not sure it's going to be cost effective. I'll do the math again and I'll show you, but it's going to take a long time to pay
Yeah,
that $38,000 back.
Were you a plumber or electrician?
Master plumber.
Plumber. Is there anybody that's local that could do that to keep the price down?
Not that not that gets in. Federal piping over in Freedom may be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have the equipment. But the small plumbers that are around here, I don't think so, no.
If we also going to have the hookup, the pallets will also be increasing then. We have to probably.
Yeah,
pay
but not
more.
by a
by
large
much?
percentage.
Okay.
I'd like to get a figure somehow as to what it might cost to do that. I wonder if Federal Plumbing would come over and give you an estimate.
I can give them the bid package.
Well,
Okay.
we're metered for the propane to that building,
Mm-hmm.
even though all it left is that little area, so we can get a rough idea how much propane's being used.
The whole, no, that building is not metered.
It's not needed.
That's what I
No.
thought it was. I thought that's the one that was.
No, the new building is
The new
metered,
version.
Okay.
the old one.
And this building is metered, right?
I don't know. I think it is. I don't take care of this building.
We did this once before. It's probably in our minutes
Is the jail metered?
as to whether we have metered for water
Right.
and metered for propane. Now, there's a meter outside this building, and I'm thinking that it is for
Yeah, it's
propane.
metered, right?
It's got, then it is, that's the only
And
meter
it
that
is
you would have
metered.
that's visible like that. A water meter would be inside.
Okay. I know the chairman of the delegation wanted to have all our buildings metered, so we know exactly what is being used, where it is being used. We have to do it over again. I guess we have to do it over, find out what we have and what we don't have. Anything else? You got any other
No.
items?
Nope, not for Bob.
Did we sell much of the
Oh, yeah.
stuff that was in the building at the farm
We
day?
made about $300.
How much?
About $300.
$300.
You sold that much? I
That's
didn't
a
think
lot.
you'd sell anything.
Yeah.
That's a
It
lot.
wasn't much.
What were the items?
I sold a stainless steel sink for $100. A lot of those 3-drawer side tables. I sold a chest freezer. A lot of miscellaneous stuff. There's still a lot of big stuff available.
What, in your opinion, what should be done with the rest of the stuff? Goes with the demolition?
The stuff that really is junk or nobody wants will probably go with demolition, but the stuff that's got some value, we should still keep trying to sell it.
Is there any way of, at some point in time, I haven't been over there recently, but the dining area is full of stuff. It was.
Well, a lot of that stuff has been cleaned out.
Has been cleaned out?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. The stuff that we actively use, I took out of the dining room.
okay.
I have a pile of trash in there that I've been adding to. That's going to go in the dumpster
Okay.
someday. Some of it is leftover construction materials from the new building.
Yep.
That'll get housed probably outdoors in a storage trailer. What I can. It'll
I
be
would,
cleaned out.
I would suggest on a rainy day, I don't know what your schedule is or how you schedule yourself and your people, but it seems like we could get some residents of our jail to help move that stuff over into a trailer. No?
Maybe. If I might be able to use a couple inmates for a day, but
How about,
that'd be about it.
how about a little bit different things? How about taking a few pictures and putting it on the nursing home webpage or the county webpage and say these things are for sale, you know, and put an album on the webpage that you might find somebody. And the other thing we could do is how about giving any employee here that sells something out of the nursing home a commission? And let's make some effort to get rid of this stuff.
There's so much stuff there, you take a picture and nobody's gonna know what's for sale and what's junk.
All the better, they have to come and see it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff over there.
There's a lot of stuff,
that
you're
people
right.
could use if, the phones are still good. They're not good for us, but they're good for
Well, those aren't
somebody else.
phones that you can just plug into the wall at your house.
It's a whole system, right?
Yeah, that's part of a
Yeah.
phone system.
I'll sell the whole system.
The system's, I've had that
It's
discussion.
outdated, that's why
It's
we got rid of
outdated. It's good for parts.
Yeah.
That's about it. I've
What
had-
about all the computer stuff that was in that one room?
That's all gonna go away. Somebody's gonna take that, no charge.
I
Last
keep
was
hearing
told.
that, but it's still there?
It's still there. It'll be gone by the time.
So who's going to take it? They're going to use the parts?
Yeah, John Rich has got somebody that he knows that will take the stuff away. They strip it down. They have people that just sit there and pick little pieces of metal out of it and put it in this bin and that bin, and
Pieces of it go to China.
yeah. I
Including
don't know what
China.
to do with it. As long as it goes away. Okay, there's got to be, well, there's got to be 40, 50 old computers and monitors and whatnot. There's quite a pile.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that's been sitting spread around campus for years.
Well, I'd suggest that we get rid of the junk as soon as possible. Monday, the delegation will probably make a final decision as to whether the two wings come down and the wall goes up and the laundry gets renovated. That's what the subcommittee came up with on Monday, I believe. They don't want to do anything with the roof right now. They want to wait until April of next year to see whether the other two wings get used or not, whether the funding is there. You see any problem with taking down the two wings and putting a wall up? And would you prefer brick or vinyl?
Vinyl will be less money, but brick will look better.
And brick is going to last longer, I believe. I mean, vinyl,
Till you run into the vinyl with the first lawnmower.
yeah, or the stone hits it or whatever.
It's not going to be a large expansive wall that they're going to be doing. So I
He
can't,
said it was $6,000 or $7,000
More?
roughly to
Brick it?
brick it. You were there. Where are my notes? I guess I get them here.
Yeah, I think
What
I
I
remember that.
didn't get, whether that was for both of them or each.
In Bonapage and Stone's bricking of doing that wall, I believe it was $50,000 that they had put in a budget for that, put that wall up.
I can't imagine it would be anywhere near that much.
That's with the frost wall and bricking it. I
Yeah.
can't believe it would be either.
50,000 for the
I-
wall?
Could be completely wrong.
Brick up, 6 to 7K. Wall, where wings are removed.
Yeah.
So I didn't put down whether it was one or two.
And I'm assuming there's no windows and no doors in that?
There'll be a door.
There is a door in
There
there?
will be a door, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Bob, thank you for all you're doing for us.
You're doing an excellent job. Thank
It's
you very
extra
much.
work, I know, other than just the regular maintenance, but you know more about that building than any of us, so
Okay.
thank
You're
you.
doing a good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Would you ask Lynette to come in on your way out?
Yes. We're in non-public session now, David.
Yeah.
Non-public session. It's that work session.
Well, before you got here, she came in and requested,
Yeah.
we have a call with Mr. Clausen at 9:30.
We need to go into non-public under RSA 91A:3, 2, quotation marks, E, for negotiations of pending claims or litigation. Somebody wants to make that a motion? We'll-
So
I think you did a good job
What's that?
making the motion.
All right. It's been moved. Are we ready to go on this? Okay. It's been moved. You
Second it.
Moved and seconded. We need a roll call.
Commissioner Kenney, yes. Commissioner Sorensen?
Yes.
Commissioner Babson?
Yes.
Okay, we are now in non-public for negotiating of pending claims or litigation. I believe we have, okay. Okay, for the public, we're back in public session. Do I hear a motion that we seal the minutes?
Make a motion that we
Non-public?
seal the minutes of both sections. One was RSA 91.3, paragraph 2E and C, and the other one was 91.3, part 2B.
B, okay. I'll second the motion. That the minutes be sealed for those two non-public sessions. Roll call?
You don't need to roll call for the sealing, no? We already sealed the minutes when we...
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
You didn't? Don't
No, we
seal
made a
it?
motion just to
You
go back
just
in the
get
public.
out? Oh, okay.
Okay?
So who make the motion? Is it Babson? Make the motion to seal the minutes?
Yes, and I second it.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have roll call?
Actually, we don't, but if you can just go all in favor. Roll call is to get into non-public and to get out of non-public. That is
Mr.
what you
Chairman,
need
can we
to
have a
roll call
motion to
for.
seal the minutes,
Yes.
please?
Motion's been made and
Okay,
seconded.
motion to seal the minutes. Second, Commissioner Kenney, yes. Commissioner Sorensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Babson.
Yes, okay. All right. All right, now we're back into work session. Do we have any minutes that we need to consider other than non-public minutes?
I don't believe so.
Do we have anything to bring up on the work session?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We have a response to Mr. Brown we have to bring up. He very nicely put in a 91A request, but didn't give us any address to send it to, so, and he's left, so I don't know what we're supposed to do with it. But we don't have an address or an email, so we can't respond, and time is running out.
I just want to say that in the past, the receptionist administrative assistant emailed some answers to him, so they have his email address. They sent him some information, or they had a response for extension a few times, so
Okay, well, this was
they
written.
have the address.
You
there.
want to sign that?
You put in an answer, but you were longer here for like
What's that?
14 or 15 years. So I have no idea what you actually give out. I can only speak for the few years that I'm here.
Okay.
So I don't really know what you give in the 50
Did you
years.
review any of the?
Well, all three that they were complaining about were while you were here, Commissioner.
11 and 12.
They were all here, they were here while you were here.
I don't know, I think the question was, did he give any loans or cash advance or whatever? Was that a question?
That was the
Question?
question.
But he answered that, right?
We have to, no, we
Yeah,
have to put it in writing.
Yeah, but he,
Yeah, but he answered that and he said yes, but if we see 14 or 15 years, I don't know what he did and give out like 8 or 9 years ago, so I cannot just answer that. He
Well,
answered that and said
You're in the
yes.
same boat as I am. I wasn't here.
Yeah, so I don't know what he did 5, 6, 7 years ago, if he gave loans or cash advance, just something that he need to answer.
Then why don't you sign it and put on here that you're only speaking for the 2 years that you were here? And I'll do the same thing. I wasn't here at all. And 3 of them were
You're
while
first.
you were here.
So I don't know what he gives out and,
Well,
What-
why don't you, you were here. David was here. I wasn't. You were here for the one in 2011
11
and
and 12.
12.
so where was the request? What did he ask? I thought that he asked for the time that you were here, or that it was general for all this
I
time.
believe he asked for any loans or advances made to any county employees.
Oh, Mr. Brown, I thought you left. The 91A request, what you had, was there a particular year in, or was it just general? You want to know all the loans and all the cash advances? That was my understanding, right?
Right.
You didn't put in a particular year.
No.
So, okay, so then I cannot sign it because
Well, I
Commissioner
can't either.
Sorensen was
If it's
here.
before
He
me.
can't either.
Commissioner
If it's
Why don't you
Sorensen
do what
was
I
here.
did, Commissioner, and just
So-
right in there, you weren't present except for those 4 years.
And it is maybe, it should be, you, because you answered it, you said yes. So probably on the time that you were here,
And
you
you
probably
were
give
here.
something out.
And you were here.
I answered it yes because it was on 11 and 12, 2011, 2012. Mr. Brown, you got a comment you want to make?
Yeah, I think we're losing the scope of the whole thing. It doesn't matter whether you were here or not. The question was, did this happen? And we know it happened, but the bigger problem is, why did you have to lie about it?
Mr. Chairman, we don't need this. We explained it before you got here, Mr. Brown, in the public meeting. You can go home and watch it on the television. Nobody lied. We
You
answered
did,
it.
Commissioner Babson. You adamantly stated
He's
that this
out
never
of order,
happened.
Mr. Chairman.
You said it never happened.
I didn't say it
Commissioner
never happened.
What?
Okay, all right, enough is enough.
I said there were no
What
loans.
did you put on it?
Nothing. I put
Oh,
on.
What?
what's
Nothing.
the definition of it?
You didn't sign it?
Nope.
Okay.
And
Commissioner Kenney did not sign
there
it.
was a talk that they don't have the email address, so that is, we have an answer here for you. That was from your last Wednesday
Yep.
request.
The next thing, Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
we were asked in the subcommittee meeting last Monday to have a sketch of our, I think Mr. Representative Algren called it our vision of what we wanted to do with the old nursing home. Do any of you have any ideas? We were all there. Commissioner Kenney, what is your vision of what we're gonna do?
With the old nursing home.
What do you mean? What are we going to do with the old nursing home? There's already a plan there. You
No,
mean,
there isn't. And
Well,
Commissioner
according to-
Kenney, you sat there and you heard the discussion the same as we did. They want a rough sketch of what their vision, what our vision is of the old nursing home. What is your vision of it?
I have no comment at this time.
Oh, my God. David, what's yours?
I think we ought to pursue probation. We've given them a letter of intent.
That would be in the
That would be in the
eating area,
dining area.
okay? Across from that is the kitchen.
I think we need to put out an RFP to see if anybody's interested in a commercial kitchen, which we list the equipment that's available, and ask for some letter of intent so that we can follow up on it as to exactly what they're looking for and what we would agree to.
Okay, let's say we don't get any response, for which I find highly unlikely that anybody would want to use a kitchen. What would your second choice be? Mine would be a maintenance area for Bob.
Yeah, I would get in contact with the person out of Conway that buys secondhand equipment, kitchen equipment and so forth.
Get rid of it.
His first name is Pete, but I can't remember what the company's name is. But anyway, get in touch with him and have him give us a figure for what's there that could be sold.
Okay.
And then that would be put into the maintenance.
Did you get that information because the Wi-Fi is here? Is that how you get it so fast?
I did.
It's Pete's Restaurant Equipment, our capable minute taker. It's just
Okay.
informed me. It's 356-6656. Okay, the next area would be coming down from the probation area, which would be the activity room and now Bob's shop. What would you like to do with that?
I'd leave that there.
Well, if we have the maintenance already up in the kitchen, we don't need two maintenance
That's
areas.
storage.
One of them's got to be storage.
One of them would be storage, and I think the kitchen facility would be the storage.
Storage, okay.
Let's back up a little bit regarding that kitchen area. There is cold storage there. I think there's 2 units of cold storage, and there's a freezer. If we're ever going to do anything with the farm as far as growing squash, for example, for the nursing home, that it could be processed there and put into the freezer, and then the nursing home could use it as they need to. That would be a good use of the freezer.
Then the one question we've got to ask Bob is, if this was a maintenance, you certainly wouldn't want it for storage, I wouldn't think, if you're going to be going in and out of the kitchen area. But can he use it for maintenance and work around the 2 freezer units?
I think it'd be better to use it as a storage.
Okay, well, we'll make that storage then.
And because
Maintenance
he's going to have
stays where it
tools
is.
and stuff in his maintenance shop.
Maintenance, and then on the other side of maintenance is the pellet. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then the other.
Across the hall is the laundry.
Yep.
And now we have the front part, the core, and that little side office. I would recommend that we don't take down the front part of the building. Would be my vision.
Can you imagine what that building would look
No.
like if we
No.
took down the front portion?
No?
And not only that, it's going to cost extra money to take down that front portion.
Yep. So do we leave it up?
I would
My
strongly urge
preference
that we
would
leave it
be-
up.
Yep. Okay, I will give this to Bob.
Now, I think, to be fair, I think we ought to put square footage. Give it to Bob and have him measure out the areas
Okay.
so that when the question comes up, how much square footage we're talking about, we can tell him.
And that side office would be cooperative extension at some point, hopefully.
The front portion,
Yeah. And that's what they
I-
requested, and that's what they'll get.
I would put cooperative extension or to be rented out to any organization that any organization that would be of value to the county complex.
Okay,
That could be that probation go there versus the kitchen, versus the dining area.
well, you know, let's set some parameters so we're not.
Okay.
Every time we open up the box gets bigger and more.
Okay,
Let's stick with probation, because that's where they want to be, in the back.
yeah.
And,
And we've got the plan already for them.
yep, and I'll give that to Bob.
Well, I'd say cooperative extension or any other agency that would be of value to the county.
Okay. The work session, we already mentioned.
If I went further, that could be any organization that we're presently funding, like the Conservation District, like RSVP, like, what else do we fund? The Crisis Center, the Victim Crisis Center down in Wolfboro.
What did you
There's
say, the
other
Victim
areas.
Crisis Center? You mean
Well,
the
I'm
child?
not-
You mean a child advocacy
Child
center?
Advocacy Center, correct. So I wouldn't leave it just a cooperative extension. I'd
Okay,
put it to anything else.
okay, I'll give that to Bob. We talked about the Prius.
Yes.
Or wherever. That is going to take gonna be a bigger whack on the budget for the jail. And I hope we can get somebody on.
Well, it's gonna be for the sheriff too.
Sheriff too. I hope we can get some members of the delegation that are on those subcommittees, or one of them at least, to go to that conference and listen, because nobody's gonna believe what it's gonna cost us.
Would you bring that up for Monday?
Yes,
The dates and times and what locations and
Yes.
stuff? Okay. Good idea.
and I guess that's it for my, for what I have here, for the work session.
Okay. Then I think the next item then, unless you have anything, Commissioner Kenney?
For next week.
Then let's go into public input, and then we'll go into non-public to review all of the past non-public minutes that we haven't approved, okay? So, I'll open it up to
Public.
public input. Yes, Mr. Brown?
Do you have any policies in place in regards to the loans?
Yeah, we don't give loans.
We don't give loans. Never have, during my time.
Well, whether it's a loan, a CAD, is there any policies in place?
The only thing that we act on is if it is a hardship case. We act on it individually.
Is there a policy?
No, there's not.
So what allows?
Other than that, they can only use it for vacation or sick leave.
So what allows you to do that without a policy in place?
It's their turn,
It's our choice.
What?
It's our choice to do it.
Yeah, it's our choice, but it's their accrued, they're gonna get this anyway. Should they resign and go off, they're gonna get their paid vacation and paid sick leave.
This wasn't discussed back when these were actually handed out. There was no mention of any accrued time, but that's neither here nor there. And
Well, it isn't, it's there.
And this 91A that doesn't satisfy what was requested in the 91A. So.
Take us to court.
Well, you need to be,
Take you where, Mr. Babson?
Take us to court. We answered your question.
Okay, well, maybe I needed to bring it up to Government Oversight's legal department. Another one of my 91A requests that hasn't been answered. And I have every single one of them.
Good for you.
I just
No,
want to say,
bad for you.
All right, okay, go ahead.
I just want to mention, you say hardship cases, you need to be careful because we are not in the welfare business. I mean, you mentioned hardship for employees. We cannot give anything or money because of hardship to employees. They need to go to the welfare office. We're not in the business of welfare, though.
Okay, if I could answer that. The only funding that is given under hardship case is that time that they have already accrued on the books that is owed to them. And in some cases, people have come in with a hardship case that we don't feel that we could use their vacation time, that they could use their vacation time or sick leave time to go towards that. I have always tried to say that vacation time is due to them, they should take it. Not accrue it, not lose it, that they should take it. That's the purpose of vacation, is to leave here, do something that they would like to do special, and come back all rejuvenated.
David, each one of those cases in 2011 and 2012 are documented in the personnel files. The individual has written a request and explained the hardship. And then the board made the decision and voted on it. I wasn't here, so I don't know what the discussions were. And they were all non-public, which makes you wonder how it got to be public.
Yeah, I know it.
So, Commissioner Babson, you said it's all documented and in the personal files. How did you know about it?
Because I went in and asked a very simple question, Commissioner Kenney. Mr. Groot, do you have any proof? And she said, yes, it's right here. I did not look at it. I did not read it. I trust her. She said it was there, and I believe her.
Okay. Any further public input?
And you said, how does he know about my comment, how does he know about non-public? I believe questions been asked in a public session. And there was a discussion a while ago, you mentioned that about hardship or whatever. Somebody came also asked, were there loans given to employees? That was all questioned in public meetings. And I believe last week was also another question asked in the public meeting. If you give gas advantage or loans, and you answered yes.
No. Let's get something. Let's get something clear. What you just said was, I answered yes to loans. That's not true.
I believe it was gas advantages.
We have never given out a loan. Let's make that clear. There's never had a loan given out by the Board of Commissioners. During my time, I can't speak for anything previous to my time. What we've done is we've given out money on a hardship case only that was researched to make sure that it was a hardship case, that it was a one-time deal, and that was it. And it was based on accrued time that they deserved to have, that they had already earned. Okay? End of conversation regarding that issue.
Let's move forward.
Okay. No further input?
No.
All right. Then we would go into non-public session to review previous non-public minutes for approval.
Is that the motion what you're making?
I'll make that a motion. I heard a second?
Second.
Motion
Do
made.
we have to give a, don't we have to give a?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Something or other, just because we're gonna look at the minutes?
I think it's under 91A 3(2)C, matters which, if discussed in public, would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the public body.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Commissioner Kenney, yes. Commissioner Sorensen?
Yes.
Commissioner Babson?
Yes.
And you got the time as we went into non-public, all right?
And I have 10:23.